All right, everyone. Thanks for joining today. Here's what we will cover. We'll start with a quick overview of the Partner FastTrack initiative and what this audit edition is designed to help you achieve. Then we will walk through the key audit updates, the top customer use cases, the ideal customer fit, and how to qualify opportunities and position audit confidently against alternatives, especially native Microsoft reporting and other tools. Then we will wrap up with a short demo and then leave time for Q&A at the end. Before we dive into audit, I want to level set on what Partner FastTrack is and why we're doing this audit edition. So Partner FastTrack is a quarterly product-focused enablement initiative. The goal is basically to give you targeted training, practical resources, and the right incentive so you can take a product to market faster and more confidently, not just learn about it. So why audit for this edition? Because we're seeing strong demand around security, compliance, and Microsoft 365 governance. An audit is a very natural fit for customers who need visibility into external sharing, guest access, storage sprawl, and workspace ownership. In terms of the program, at a glance, the audit edition runs from March through the end of May. The kickoff is basically today, and we will share resources throughout the quarter right after this session to make sure you apply what you learn immediately in active opportunities. And ultimately, this is built for partners who want to shorten the sales cycle, increase win rates, and move audit opportunities forward faster. Each quarter, we'll keep the focus tight. One product, clear outcomes, and practical ways to build pipeline and close. So here, I want to set expectations for what you will get from Audit Edition and how the incentive work. First, in terms of what you get, you'll have this dedicated audit product training. You'll also have sales enablement assets, things like battlecards, positioning guidance, and go-to-market materials you can reuse directly in customer conversations. And throughout the program, you will do follow-up touch points. We help you apply the content to real opportunities and keep momentum going. On the incentive side, there is a 10% discount incentive tied to a simple process. Register the deal within the next 3 months and then close by September 30 to qualify. So the key cadence to remember is basically, program runs from March to end of May. Resources are shared throughout after this kickoff session, and the incentive close date is September 30th. The overall goal here is to basically help you sell audit with confidence, faster discovery, clearer positioning, and straightforward path to moving deals forward. If you have any questions, just drop them in the chat. I'll make sure to get to them right after, the training. Okay, let's dive in. We have new features that has been released in Audit end of last year. I know so many people got to actually see it, some hasn't. So I want to make sure after this training, you're aware of how Audit has advanced really, last year. And I want to make sure you have all your questions answered regarding this. So basically, we have the new Audit capabilities with little guidance here in this training and how to map them directly to common governance and cleanup conversations. First, the workspace summary report gives you a fast executive level snapshot across the tenant. It's perfect for the first meetings because, you can quickly establish visibility and pinpoints where to focus. The next one is orphaned workspace, and this is a big one. It helps identify workspaces that don't have a clear owner. Those are often the highest risk areas from a compliance and lifecycle perspective, and a great entry point for remediation engagement. Then we have the inactive workspaces, which helps customers reduce sprawl and tighten governance by identifying what's not being used. This typically leads naturally into cleanup, archiving, lifecycle policies, and ongoing governance support. We also added file size reporting, which makes it easier to understand what's driving storage and where large content lives, useful for cost management and capacity planning discussions. And finally, pre-filtering of reports makes the whole experience faster. Uh, Teams can narrow the scope upfront and get to answers quickly, which is important when you're running assessments or presenting findings. From partner standpoint, these reports help you package audit into clear outcomes like visibility, risk reduction, cleanup, and governance, plus services opportunities around assessment and remediation. Now, let's talk about how to position audit in real customer language. These are scenarios we see most often and the ones partner can package into services. First is, for example, sharing links, sprawl, and external access control. Customers typically know external sharing exists. They just don't know where the risk is. Audit helps them identify guest access and manage sharing links and links with excessive permission so they can tighten access quickly. Second is storage and cost optimization. And this is an easy win. We can drill down to the files and versions consuming storage and filter by size or version count, and a strong story for reducing storage bloat and improving tenant hygiene. Third is orphaned workspaces, departed user cleanup. This is extremely common. Teams and sites that have no active owners or owners who are disabled or unlicensed, audit makes those visible so customers can reassign ownership and reduce risk. The fourth is workspace lifecycle management, for example, helping customers proactively identify workspaces that should be archived, reassigned, or retired based on policies and activities rather than waiting until sprawl becomes unmanageable. And finally, delegated administration and permission reviews. So instead of everything going through IT, audit supports governance at scale by enabling site and team owners to review the manage access. So this reduces IT tickets while improving accountability. From a partner perspective, these map cleanly to packaged offerings such as, assessment, remediation, cleanup projects, and ongoing governance. So, yeah. Now, let's talk about how to qualify where audit resonates fastest. In general, the best fit is regulated industries and large Microsoft 365 tenants where external collaboration and compliance requirements collide. For example, we have the financial services and insurance, the drivers regulation here. So customers need clear visibility into external sharing and guest access, and compliance teams wants tenant-wide reporting without depending on IT every time. Also, we have healthcare and life sciences. So staff turnover often leaves behind orphan permissions and abandoned workspaces, and with patient data in the mix, and managed sharing becomes as a critical, risk. So proactive detection here matters. And we also have the legal and professional services, confidentiality here is everything. So since they collaborate heavily with clients and third parties, controlling access and reviewing permission becomes very frequent need. government and public sector, which is basically one of our huge percentage of the customer bases we have that actually requires audit. This here, the challenges is real, and they have multiple departments, strict mandates, and the need to scope governance by division here is critical. So teams can manage, for example, life cycle and access without boiling the ocean. And education and multi-campus organization. Here, the user churn drives sprawl. Storage grows quickly and ownership gets messy. Audit supports cleanup and optimization, especially when licensing and storage costs becomes a pressure point. So if a prospect matches any of these profiles, definitely audit is an easy value-driven conversation here. And I'm happy to provide any, use cases, case studies, trials, anything that we can make audit look as the solution for their struggles there. And we can also build proof of concepts. We can enable partners do so many things in order to position audit, correctly to their clients. I have here also like how to run a strong discovery conversation and quickly qualify whether audit is a fit or not. First, for example, in sharing and access, we want to uncover whether the customer has real visibility into external sharing. A few good questions are like, for example, how are you tracking external sharing today? How many access or permission review requests does IT handle monthly? And do you actually have visibility into guest access across Teams, SharePoint, and OneDrive? If those answers are not clear or manual or ticket heavy, audit typically lands well. Second, we also have the storage and life cycle. We are looking for sprawl and cleanup needs. So the ask would be like, can you identify what hasn't been used? For example, in 90 days, do you know what's consuming storage, especially files and versions, and how many workspaces exist with no active owner? These questions usually reveal, quick wins around governance, risk reduction, and cost control. Finally, the qualification indicators. So audit is a strong match for organizations with, I would say, like 500 user plus, but also like small users work as well. Complex sharing and compliance need and IT teams handling high volume of access requests over like, I don't know, like 50 plus per month, for example. We typically see the best fit at professional tier and above, especially in regulated industries, multi-division tenant, and post-migration environment. So if a prospect checks even a few of these boxes, you've got a very solid audit opportunity and usually a clear services motion as well around assessments and remediation. So, we're happy to help with also the assessment. If you feel like you're not sure there, we are happy to help with the discovery calls with customers or prospects. This is definitely something we support our partner with. Last part that I wanted to discuss is also the competitive positioning and why audit would win in a competitive conversation, especially when customers are, comparing native Microsoft reports or admin-heavy tools, for example. First, I would say audit is a purpose built for auditing, not just for IT admins. That means, compliance teams and workspaces owners, for example, can actually self-serve the insights they need instead of depending on IT for every request. Secondly, we provide one consolidated view. A common pain point with Microsoft native reporting is that the data is spread across different admin portals so customers don't get a single consistent view. Also, Audit brings that into one reporting experience. Third point is we are Teams native, so many competing tools requires a separate portal, separate login, and new training. Audit runs directly in Teams, which reduces adoption, frictions, and speeds up rollout. The fourth point here is batch workspace filtering. So a lot of tools either only reporting tenant-wide or forcing you into, one workspace at a time. So with the Audit, you can scope reporting by owner, or the domain or workspace name / URL. So which is especially valuable for multi-division organizations and delegated governance model. And finally, we have the file level storage visibility. Many tools stop at site level storage totals, so Audit drills down to the actual files and versions consuming storage. So customers can take action, not just look at high level numbers. So the partner takeaway is simple here. Audit differentiates on self-service, consolidation, team native adoption, flexible scoping, and actionable storage insights. So I hope this somehow gives you a clear overview of what to expect here and how to drive conversations when it comes to audit. I want to also show you a quick demo recording by Peter. He would have loved to be here, but he got another commitment. So he recorded this demo for you, and I'm happy to take any questions as well. In case if it's technical that I cannot reply to, I can just, get back to you with the right answer. But let's see. I want to make sure that one sec. That I'm sharing. I think I'll stop sharing for a sec and then I'll share it again with sound. Yeah, that should work. Please let me know if you can't hear, but it should work fine.
It is a Microsoft Teams app that allows your customers to get an understanding of the health of their tenant. There are several reports, but we recommend starting with the Workspace Summary report. This gives you an overview of the sites and teams in a tenant and where the issues might be. From this report, you can then choose to run some of the other reports in Audit. For example, looking at risks and costs, such as sharing links. You can report by workspace or across your whole tenant. The sharing links report also includes actions, allowing you to remove a sharing link if it's deemed a risk. Another common problem for customers is storage. The reports in Audit let you understand what is using up your storage. Remember, all of the reports we're showing can be filtered. Also, all reports support export to Excel. Another report to help with the storage costs is the file size report, which includes filters for versions and size of files. Audit also includes other reports to identify objects that are orphaned as a result of a user leaving the organization. There are also reports for workspaces which are no longer active and could be removed to reduce cost or risk.
Thank you everyone for your time today. I think it's time for Q&A. If anyone got any question, feel free to unmute your mic or drop your question in the chat and I'll make sure to get back to this. So Tracy, I see your question. Yes, you can, send me an email with the request and I'll make sure to get back to it and action that right away. For John's question, I believe yes. Let me also confirm that internally, but I believe yes, you can definitely save a filtered report for regular use for users. How do we access the new training? You mean this one, or which new training are you referring to exactly? Feel free to unmute your mic if you want.
Adwa, just wondering, so this is the start of additional training for audit. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes, so this is the training session. You can book further ones if you'd like that. I believe there was one to be scheduled for Essential, hopefully next week. We will also send resources such as battlecards, enablement ones that you can use with clients. But yeah, that answer your question?
To get deep into the technical side of it, Fadwa. So.
Yeah, yes, I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the one that would be scheduled for Essential next week.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, scheduled reports are on the roadmap. We will make sure to notify our clients once it's out. Feel free to also check our roadmap on the website if you would like to see what features are coming. I'll make sure to drop the link for it here if you'd like to, check it out for now. But yeah, that's it from my end today. And thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And don't hesitate to reach out with any questions.